There are some people in your life whose mere presence is enough to infuriate you. Perhaps it's a colleague's excessive self-confidence or a neighbor's arrogance. According to Carl Jung, this intense and uncontrollable anger may not actually be about that person at all. Jung famously stated, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." Today, we will discuss the psyche's most effective illusion mechanism, psychological projection. This is the art of dressing someone else in our own dark or unacknowledged parts. Today, on Shadow Atlas, we will discover why the world is often a replica of our own unknown face and how we can break this illusion. Fundamentally, projection is when the conscious ego attributes qualities it refuses to see in itself to an object or another person. A crucial rule is this: we do not make a projection. A projection happens to us. We don't choose it as a conscious decision. Instead, unconscious factors begin to project their own film onto someone else. According to Jung, the effect of projection is to isolate the individual from their environment. You are no longer in a relationship with the actual person in front of you. You are in an illusionary relationship with your own projected image. The world becomes a copy of your own unknown countenance. This creates a tragic cycle where a person constantly blames the world while suffocating in their own spiritual cocoon. But why don't we project everything onto everyone? Jung suggests that for a projection to stick, there must be a hook available. The quality being projected must find a counterpart, however small, in the other person. For example, if you feel intense hatred toward a neighbor you perceive as arrogant, that person may indeed be somewhat distant or cold, the hook. However, the disproportionate rage you feel is a projection of your own repressed complex of self-assertion or vanity that you haven't integrated. If a trait makes us disproportionately emotional, a projection is almost certainly at work. Jung's warning is stern. When we wish to educate, correct, or punish others, we are often merely punishing the forgotten faults within ourselves. The most fascinating and dangerous place for projection is within romantic relationships. This is where we project our deepest inner images, what Jung called the anima and animus, onto our partners. Because this romantic illusion is such a profound and complex subject, we will explore these archetypes of the soul in a dedicated episode of our series. For now, remember that when we say, "You've changed, I don't recognize you anymore," it is often not the person who has changed, but our own projection mask that has begun to slip. Jung explains how projection can be resolved through an example from his own life. At one point, Jung was in a personal conflict with a Mr. A and was convinced that the fault lay entirely with him. One night, Jung dreamed of a harsh-mannered lawyer he knew from his student days. The lawyer was demanding an astronomical fee of 5,000 francs. Jung initially tried to explain this through external events, but then he analyzed the dream on a subjective level. The lawyer and the demanded money were actually Jung's own unjustified anger, and his stubbornness in refusing to admit his own flaws. Once Jung realized that the rude and unjust traits he criticized in Mr. A were actually his own inner lawyer, the shadow, his anger toward Mr. A vanished. This is a great moral achievement, withdrawing a projection. In conclusion, recognizing projections and returning them to where they belong, our own souls, is one of the most difficult yet valuable tasks a human can undertake. If we do not withdraw our projections, we will always see the world as worse than it is, and people as more hostile than they are. As Jung said, "Those who do not recognize their own darkness will see everything outside as an enemy." The next time you feel disproportionate hatred or admiration for someone, ask yourself, to whom does this face in the mirror actually belong?